Alright, in this video what we're gonna do is to start creating the project. So that's gonna be the first thing that we're gonna do in creating this desktop application. So let's go over to NetBeans and do that. I'm gonna bring up NetBeans, and under the projects part we have a create new file here and a create new project button over here on top of NetBeans. As you can see, I'm gonna click on the new project button. Yeah, I'm gonna ask us what kind of to choose the category of project that we want to create. I'm gonna select Java and I'm gonna create a Java application. So the other options like a Java class library, Java project with existing sources, or Java freeform project, but I'm gonna select Java application and click on next, because that's what we're gonna do. We want to create a Java application, and we're gonna have to give the project a name. I had already called this the previous project sales record app, and let's call this sales record app. And you can see NetBeans flags an error telling me that the project folder already exists and it's not empty. So let's call it sales record application just to make a difference. So this is gonna be the name of the application, sales record application. It's gonna be saved in this location, c:/user/jefferson7x/document/netbeans projects, and the project folder is gonna be c:/jefferson7x/document/netbeans project/sales record application. So it asks us to create a main class for it. I usually don't want that, but sometimes you can decide it to allow it to create the main class for you. But I'm gonna untick this because I want to create the main class for myself. So I'm gonna click on finish, and when I click on finish, it's gonna create the project, the folder, the project location, and everything for us. So let's click on finish and see what happens. So you can see it says creating new project over here, and now the project has been created. So you can see down here that in the projects navigation window that we have a sales record application project here, which is something similar to the sales record app. Notice that it created this source packages folder for us and these library folders, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit. So let's see what's the next thing for us to do. Next thing we need to do is to open up these source packages and create a package that we're going to use in writing our programs. So I'm going to right click on these source packages, then I'm going to say new, then I'm going to select Java package, then I'm going to call the name of the package com.zinix. Okay, so this is going to be the name of the package, and I should add .sales because we are dealing with sales records, so we will call it com.zinix.sales. Then I'm going to click on finish, and you can see that the package com.zinix.sales has been created. There's something else I want to show you. If we go over to my documents directory and we go over to NetBeans projects, in my documents directory I have a folder called NetBeans project. This folder is automatically created when you create your first NetBeans project, and all other subsequent projects that you created using NetBeans will be stored in this directory. So if you check this directory, you see all the project folders that have been creating, and then you see the sales record application laying beside the sales record app project folder. So this is the project folder that we are working on. I'm going to open it up, and you can see that it has some folders that we created for us. The NB project folder, which contains some configuration files for the project that we are working on. We are not going to talk much about this, and I advise you not to be going in here to mess up anything. This project has to do with handling the building and the bundling of your project. So let's take a look at this source directory. In this source directory, you can see we have a directory inside the source directory called com, which stands for this directory com dot, and you will see the dot, but the dot shows that there is a directory inside com called Zinix. I'm going to open up the com directory, and you can see, like I said, that there is a directory inside the com directory called Zinix. And again, you must have guessed that there is also a directory called sales that is inside the Zinix directory that is inside the com directory. here we go. I'm gonna open it up and you can see that there is a sales directory. Now in the sales directory, you can see that the folder is empty. There's nothing in because we've not entered any class inside it yet. Now I'm just gonna back it up and I'm gonna minimize this window. Then let's take a look at this com.xilinx.sales. Now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna create a class that contains a main method inside this package. So I'm gonna right click on this com.xilinx.sales and then I'm gonna say new. Be careful that you do not right click on the source packages and create a new class, but right click on the com.xilinx.sales package or whatever package you must have named it when you are creating your GUI application. So make sure you right click on the package, not on this source packages folder, because if you right click on the source packages folder, it's going to create a class inside the default package, which is not recommended. So let's right click on the com.xilinx.sales package. I'm going to select new, then we're going to select Java class. Then it's going to ask us the name of the class. Then I'll simply type I'm choosing the name of the class to be called main, because I want to be able to easily remember that this class contains the main method. So we usually call this the main class, just like it suggested as us to create a main class for this sales record application. So this is the class name, which is main. Then I'm going to click on finish, and it says please wait, so you're gonna have to wait for it. So you can see NetBeans is about to create a main.java class for us, and here it is. We have a class inside package com.xilinx.sales and the public class main. The name of the class is main. So I'm gonna come over inside the main class. Then I'm gonna create the main method inside the main class. So I'm gonna simply type public static void main. As usual, when we create the main method, we have to put the argument, which is string array x. Then I'm gonna open up these curly braces, and we simply created the main method. Alright, so that's how to create the main class. Simply create the main class and then you add the main method within it. Now the next thing that we're gonna do is that we're gonna have to create a main frame. Now what I calling a main frame is not like it's a technical word. I simply call the main window, like for example this sales record app. I'm gonna run it again. I'm gonna click on run. Was it running before? Okay, it was still running. Okay, there was an error while getting the sales record. That's because the application was already running. You can see the sales record was already running, and these exceptions and status that are showing over here is because the second instance crashed, because you cannot run two instances of the same application. Alright, so let's go back to the previous application that was still running. Here it is. So this window that you are seeing here is what I call the main frame. So what we're going to do is that we're going to create a JFrame, which is actually a class in the Java API documentation. I'm going to talk about that later on. So here is the JFrame. What this window you are seeing here is called the JFrame, and is a Java class, and we're going to create it inside this com.xilinx.sales package. So I'm going to right click on it, then I'm going to say new JFrame form. So I select new JFrame form, then I'm going to call it main frame. Then I'm going to click on finish. So you can see here it's loading the JFrame form, and also notice that there is a palette window that appeared on the right hand side of the screen, and there is a properties window that appeared below the palette window. These two windows are going to be essential in the development process of GUI, frames, windows, and buttons, and all other components that are going to be added to this desktop application. But for now, we're going to stop here because we've created the main frame, and this is a window. You can preview it by clicking on this button over here to preview the design, and you can see this is the main frame. You can resize the window, see how you can go about it. You can see it's a real window because it has a minimize button, a maximize button, and a close button. So you can maximize, you can restore, you can minimize it to your taskbar, and then bring it up back. Oops, that's not it. Okay, I think this is it. What is it minimized to? What? Okay. So this is the main frame. You can minimize it like I showed you, and then you can close it from here. Alright, so we're gonna stop there, and then in the next video I'm gonna show you how to add components to the frame. So I hope you found this informative, and thanks for viewing.